Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about if public speaking is worth it. So Neil, you do a lot of this. I do some of this. Neil, what are your thoughts around it?
I like it, but I also get paid to do it. So from that aspect, yeah, right? Because I can charge quite a bit per hour. The funny thing is when I first started doing public speaking, I think I was like 20, 21 at the latest. And my first conference that I spoke at was search engine strategies. And I spoke on like something like Wikipedia or something like that. I don't know what the topic was. But when I gave my first public speech, it didn't really drive any business. And then from there, I thought it was cool that I got a speaker badge and a lot of people would hit me up and get feedback from me and it would drive business. None of that happened. But what I did learn is as I kept doing the public speaking and you consistently speak at multiple events within your industry per year, it did start to drive a lot of business. It's one of those things that doesn't work if you just do one-offs, but if you do it in quantity and you're consistent at it and your topic and the education you're giving is really advanced, I found that it's really great to generate more business if you're a business owner, especially in the service space, or if you're an employee at a business and you continually speak on the subject matter that you're an expert at. I have found that it helps you get a lot more job offerings and people tend to pay you a lot more if you're a public speaker versus if you're not a public speaker.
Yeah, and I'll just speak to, my experiences with it. I mean, for me, and I actually talked about this with a couple of speakers, I think it was a month ago when I was in London and Amsterdam. And we're talking about it. We're like, okay, what's the main benefit behind doing all this, right? Yes, we get to travel. Yes, you can get paid at times too. But the other thing is the people that you meet, especially the other speakers, that's one of the big benefits to me. Because sometimes, you're not going to get, yes, you're going to get leads here and there, but a lot of them, aren't the right fit. Depends on kind of what the conference is that you're speaking at. But just hang out with the right people. And these right people will give you, that leads to, introductions to other great people that probably are a fit, or it leads to other partnership opportunities that you probably weren't expecting. So ultimately, at the end of the day, when I look at public speaking, it's just another way to connect with people, and people like doing business with people at the end of the day, which is why, I do the public speaking stuff. I throw these dinners, I throw these happy hours and things like that, because you just get to connect with people. And even if you get one good connection from each one, that's always what I aim for. It pays for itself at the end of the day. Neil?
With the public speaking, what I found is when you do speeches outside of the U.S. or whatever region that you're mainly based out of, and, the U.S. being a region, it's not a bad one, but when you do it outside the U.S., you tend to get way better results. So, for example, I was speaking at a conference called VTex in Brazil a little while ago. And I was opening for Richard Branson, right? So my speech was right before his. And there was only two people speaking that day. It was me and Richard Branson. Now, of course, everyone was attending for Richard Branson, right? But the cool part about it was because I was there speaking and it was Brazil, even though the businesses aren't as big as the US, people were taking the time and effort, because I'm not from Brazil, to introduce me to all the big companies. So I met the people that run the consulate for United Kingdom within Brazil, right? The government officials there who have a lot of budget and power. I met the president of Sage. I met one of the guys who leads up the company for the mayor of Sao Paulo, which could be the future president, right? And I met a few other multi-billion-dollar organizations. I met an investment bank in which the founder is worth a few billion USD, and he's on the Forbes list. And I met all of these business owners and people because I gave a speech at a conference in which US speakers aren't that common. It's not that everyone knew me in the audience. I don't have a big brand in Brazil like I do in, let's say, the US or the UK. It's just that in these international markets, they don't get as many US and English speaking speakers. Heck, a lot of the people who are in the audience were wearing headsets and someone was translating my speech in live time. But the main point I'm trying to make is there's a much higher ROI speaking in smaller markets that aren't as competitive.
All right, so that's it for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.